Anyone here ever stay up late at night because they can't sleep because their thoughts are churning and churning and churning? That's what happens when the thoughts are out of control. This is the classic mistake people make with meditation, right? I must not think. Thoughts are the mind killer. I will blank my mind. I will become an emotionless, thoughtless robot. I am now enlightened. Shit, I thought. Did you see the subtlety within that step? And of course, everyone is in such a hurry to skip past that, to get at the mind-bending language, that then they keep bouncing off the armor because they didn't actually take time to soak the armor up so that it becomes permeable again. Did you see how that works, guys? And then the whole cat stuff, that's the easy part. That's what everyone's obsessed about. And of course, in the mind-bending language mastery that you've been watching, what have we been focusing on? The P part. Why? Because that's what makes the problem, it softens it up enough to work with it again. Do you see how that works, guys? Is this making sense to you guys? Is this useful?
Yes.
Is this starting to shift the way you look at mind-bending language? No, we haven't done a single exercise on the actual language. And I'm not saying that it's not useful. Having that fluency is actually a very good thing to have. Because why do we want mind-bending language if all we're doing is trying to soften up the problem and change the relationship to it? Why would that be useful? Any ideas? Or are you going to make me do the work on this one? So what if it's this? Have you ever had an experience that was so profound for you, you just can't describe it to someone without cheapening it? Anyone ever have that kind of experience? Hands up, right? And I'll give you some examples of how it might work. Maybe you heard such a funny story or such a funny joke, or more importantly, you took part in an event that ended up being so funny that when you tell others, they just look at you and go, why are you laughing? And you go, oh, you just have to be there. Anyone ever have those, that kind of language, right? And I want to have witness a beautiful event. It could be something simple like a scene of nature. The classic one people use is sunrises and sunsets. But it could also be a charming moment, you know, a little brother being really kind to his little sister and it just touches you in a certain way, right? And then when you try and describe that scene to someone else, doesn't it feel like your words are hollow? Like they don't do the memory justice? Like just saying the words cheapens the experience you had, right? What's going on there, guys? What do you think? What's happening? You see, this is another part of the problem of problems, is we get stuck in language. We think language is real, right? We think our thoughts are real. Our thoughts are just tools, right? Our thoughts are as real. Let's put it this way. Think of a carpenter with a bag full of tools, right? They're useful. But if the carpenter thinks that his tools are the house, he's going to get very wet. It's just tools to construct the house, right? But he can also destroy the house with the exact same tools. So to the extent that you believe your thoughts, you get trapped by them. And to the extent you can go beyond the thoughts, you become free from them. You actually can use them as tools once again. What I'm not saying is that don't think. No, you know, this is the classic mistake people make with meditation, right? I must not think. Thoughts are the mind killer. I will blank my mind. I will become an emotionless, thoughtless robot. I am now enlightened. Shit, I thought. Right? Apologies at home. I got carried away. Thoughts are tools, and they're useful tools. They're problem-solving tools. Anyone here ever stay up late at night because they can't sleep because their thoughts are churning and churning and churning? That's what happens when the thoughts are out of control. They're trying to solve problems you don't need to solve tonight, right? Or when you've already solved the problem, they're trying to look for a better solution or based on facts you don't have yet. So what do you end up doing? You loop infinitely. Because if you haven't got enough facts to solve the problem, all you can do is either loop or stop. And of course, the times you stop, you're fine. The times you loop, you forget about the fact that, well, I've had this thought at least a dozen times now. If I haven't solved in the last dozen loops, doing it more fiercely, more intensely, another dozen times is not going to improve it anymore. But what they do is They go back to the memory with now negative attention, all the frustration you're building up. So you're actually constructing a problem by trying to solve it. Did you see how that works?